Bring in Marc Thiessen. He's a fellow at the American Enterprise Institute and a Fox News contributor. I want to read to you from Liz Peek at foxnews.com today. She writes, if Democrats walk away from impeachment now, Schiff and his enablers will not just have egg on their collective faces, they will have an entire omelet. Marc, I want to get your take on this because there is going to be some pressure from the Democrats that despite this evidence that shows that impeachment is moving away from them, that they want to keep going and keep going pretty strongly.
Yeah, I mean, look, the reality is after 2 weeks of hearings, they've failed to make their case to the American people. The polls show that a supermajority of Americans, upwards of 70%, think Donald Trump did something wrong, but only a minority think that he should be removed from office for it. And so their job was to convince the American people that his misconduct, rose to the level of an impeachable offense, and they failed to do that. If you look at the swing states, there were polls right before the impeachment hearings started that showed that by a 52 to 44% margin, swing state voters opposed impeachment. Right. But now in Wisconsin, since the hearings started, new Marquette poll shows that opposition to impeachment expanded from a 7-point margin to a 13-point margin in Wisconsin. We'll get more polls coming out soon from other swing states. I suspect we'll have a similar result there. And
I think one of the reasons is we're going to show you some headlines just from across the media here with vulnerable Democrats spooked by GOP impeachment onslaught, the left shrugging at impeachment, regretful Democrats, that Democrats are fretting, and that the impeachment strategy is an unforced error by Democrats. One of the things that's going to happen this week, and I was just looking at some of these numbers, the Republicans are awash with funding. Like, there's plenty of money to go around, and they're deciding to spend a lot of money on ads this week, targeting those Democrats in the House that represent districts that President Trump won in 2016. And the Democrats are pretty well overspent, right? They are outspent. They are not going to be able to handle this onslaught. So they are telling their leadership, like, we are under major attack and we are going to war with very little money.
No, that's exactly right. Look, I mean, impeachment has been a boon for Republicans, and I think it will turn out, when we look back on this in the history in a year and a half from now, be an absolute disaster for Democrats. Because, look, there's 31 of these freshman Democrats who were elected in Trump districts. They're going to go back to their districts this week. They're being barraged by ads saying that they're focused on impeachment rather than on doing the job for their constituents. They're going to go to town hall meetings, and what the constituents are going to be asking them is not, why haven't you impeached Trump yet? They're going to say, why haven't you done what you promised? Why haven't you done something about health care? Why haven't you done something about drug prices? Why haven't you done something about infrastructure? Why haven't you done something about the USMCA, the trade agreement? And they'll have no good answer because they haven't done anything on it, because they are focused on impeachment at the expense of those issues. And so I think it's entirely possible that Nancy Pelosi might not have the votes if those freshman Democrats get cold feet.
Well, and if Republicans thought that this was bad for them, they wouldn't be talking about an extended trial in the Senate. But is there, in your opinion, is there some sort of way for the Democrats to get this behind them that would satisfy some on their left but allow them to move forward?
Well, what they should have done from the beginning, Dana, is instead of impeaching the president, they should have censured him, because censure would have flipped the political calculus. Right now, the impeachment calculus hurts Democrats more than it hurts Republicans. Censure would be the opposite, because Republicans would have had to argue that not just that the president's misconduct doesn't rise to the level of impeachment, but there was no misconduct. It would take away the Republican argument that the Democrats are trying to invalidate the votes of the American people because censure doesn't remove him from office. So and it would have probably been bipartisan because a lot of Republicans would have come over to vote. The problem for Democrats now is if they switch from impeachment to censure, then it looks like a weak move.
It's just
because it looks like they couldn't. They're blink. Yeah, exactly. It looks like they can't impeach. So this is what they're trying to do.
Marc. I'm working on my sports analogies here. All right, Marc Thiessen, appreciate having you here. Happy Thanksgiving to you.